Hello, and welcome, my friends, to the next video in the Marketing Training Hub. Today, we are going to be talking about something that I think that a lot of small business owners are struggling with the idea of SEO, which is search engine optimization. So I've got a lot to cover today, and I am just going to jump right in because I want to talk about this. I want to talk about this idea about what SEO is, why it's so important, and this one big thing that everybody's always talking about, finding those right keywords. And a lot of times people think that because when we do SEO work, that means we've got to spend all this money on all these expensive programs so that we can, create more work for ourselves. So I'm going to talk about this today. I want to get into this. I want to talk about how you don't have to spend a whole bunch of money. I just want you to think about your business and I want you to settle in today. Get something to take some notes on or do some screenshots because this is going to be one of those training videos that you're going to want to watch again and again. So for those of you who've just met me, I do want to introduce myself. I always like to introduce myself. My name is Penny Fox. And since 15 years now, I have been training small business owners at the National Entrepreneur Center in the Orlando area. I do teach locally, but I also teach online. So if you're on my list, keep an eye open for my next upcoming workshop with them. But the reason I bring this up is because I have worked with hundreds of small business owners. So with the things that I'm going to be talking about today are not just me saying, oh, this is for consultants or, oh, this is just for coaches. No, this is work for all of us, people who have brick and mortars, people who are selling on Etsy, people who are coaches and consultants. So it's for everybody. So I don't want you to think that this is just focused on one type of business. And speaking of businesses, I speak from personal experience because I currently have two businesses of my own. I have a content marketing consultant business, which I've had for over 25 years. And we also have the Create Your Business program, the Marketing Strategy Collective, which is my group program on Patreon. So let's get into this today. Let's talk about SEO. And let's talk about this idea about keywords and how more customers can find your business without you having to spend thousands and thousands of dollars on ads. I want to touch on this a little bit. I fall into this a lot myself too, where sometimes I feel like I'm not reaching enough people. My messages aren't connecting with the qualified customer type of thing. And I think to myself, okay, maybe I'll just get a whole bunch of money together and buy some ads. Well, buying ads isn't always the answer to that problem. Because what happens when you stop paying with them, they stop working. So if you're going to keep paying, by all means do that. If that's part of your budget, I am not in any way throughout this and presentation today telling you not to run ads. I have personally run ads. I've run ads on Facebook. I've also run ads on Pinterest. I have seen more success on Pinterest than I have on Facebook. Whole other training conversation. So I just want you to know I'm not in any way saying that ads don't work. But what I am saying is there are other things that we can be doing to help our businesses connect with more customers. And that's what SEO does. SEO being search engine optimization. This is what's going to help you with visibility. This is what's going to create this long-term compounding growth. It's going to help people who are currently and actively, literally searching for what you do. So let's get through this today. Let's talk about all of this. Let's talk about the important things about SEO marketing. This is what I want to focus on. I want to focus on these three pillars of SEO marketing. This is the framework that's going to keep everything together. So we have keywords, then we do page optimization. And I do want to touch on consistency because you can't do all of these things and just set it and forget it and think that's the end of the world because it's not. It's not the end of the world. I don't know why I just said that. The end of this marketing tool. Maybe that's a better way of saying that. All right, so let's jump into each one of these three different pillars And I'm going to get into each one and I'm going to explain a little bit more on how this works and what you can be doing with your business right now. So let's start with keywords. Keywords are like a bridge. What it is this. If we look at it like this, and I'm going to use my little visual here. So if we say that this part, the entrance into the bridge, is somebody typing into Google that they're looking for something, and the end of the bridge is the search results, which is your business. The middle part, that the entrance to the bridge and to the end of the bridge is the bridge itself, are the keywords. The keywords are the thing that brings it together, that bridges what people are looking for to your business together. Because what it's doing is this. Google's job, and it has many jobs, but its main job is this. When somebody types in something to its search bar, its job, its algorithms, its little spiders that search around all these webs and everything that it does, is to create, no, is to bring you the most relevant result that you are looking for to answer your question. And so it is our job with our websites, with our content, with our videos, everything that's going to show up with a with a Google search. It's our job to make sure that we include these keywords into this so that when Google is searching for this relevant content as the result, we, our website, videos, content, fill in the blank, whatever, come up as an option. You follow me so far? All right, so let's talk about these keywords. When we talk about keywords, we've got several different kinds. We've got the short ones, which are very specific, like strategy, marketing, dining room tables, that kind of stuff. And then we've got long tail, which are better to rank. And that's going to be more of a phrase like content strategy for small business owners, wooden tables, homemade, like that kind of stuff. Local, we would take that type of stuff. We would say local table, homemade local tables, made out of oak in the Orlando area. That now creates keywords that are localized because I added a location to it. So that's what the keywords breakdown is all about. So how do we find these keywords? Again, I'm not telling you that don't use a program online. There are a whole bunch of programs online. But then you're also going to run into costs. And so if you are budgeting money like that to get into your marketing budget every single month to pay for a program like that, by all means, give it a try. But there are ways that we can do this without spending a lot of money. One of the first things that I personally do is I check the Google search autofill. So basically you start typing in the question or you're typing in the words and you see, don't finish it. Let Google finish it for you. And what Google is finishing it for you, and the same thing happens on Pinterest too, is it is telling you this is what people are looking for. This is how they're saying things. These are the words that they're using. These are the phrases that they're using. And it's basically telling you what to use in your keywords, what keywords to pull together. And another place that you can do this is while you're on Google, after you've looked at everything else that's come up, scroll all the way down to the bottom. It's people also ask relevant terms. It's something like that. It's called something different on every search engine, but it's usually all the way down at the very bottom. And it's kind of like a people also ask section. So you can say, this is also how people are phrasing it. This is also one of the things that people want to know. This is also a subcategory about something that people want to know. And that right there is keyword gold because you'll see phrases, you'll see words, because if people are searching for what you think they're searching for, and then down below, Google's telling you that they're also searching for this, these are more keywords for you to use. You can also use something like the Google Keyword Planner or Uber Suggest. You can go into both of those programs, depending upon the fee and whether you want to do this. There are options as well. And you can also do things like look at the questions that people are asking you. Think about your DMs, think about your comments, think about your frequently asked questions. Are there things that people are saying with specific phrases and comments? These are also targeted keywords because these are the questions that people are asking, because it leads me to my next point. Your keywords are not the place where we start. We start with the question. So if we think about it from that place, if we think about how, let's say we posted up something and we got 10 people to comment on it, and all 10 of those people commented something very similar, a very similar phrase. I'm doing this. This keeps happening to me. These are keywords. They're basically telling us what they would be typing into Google and the words that they're using. These are the problems that they're trying to solve. And if we look at it from that place, then we can add in some synonyms and related phrases, and we can create this keyword list based on real people telling us this is what I would be doing if I picked up my phone and I was typing into Google right now. This is gold right here. So if we get all of our stuff together, now we've got our whole list of keywords. We've got our list of keywords that we know that people are typing in. We've got our list of keywords that we've run some Google searches on. Maybe we did, ask what people are also asking. Maybe we did something on Google Keyword Tool. So we've got a whole list of our keywords, and we're really looking at them like, now what? What do I do with this? So the second pillar of SEO strategy is the page optimization. This is the structure. This is how we organize our website content. This is how we know that we are going to be connecting with the Google search, the algorithm search, so that our content will show up, so that our website will show up, so that our videos are going to show up. Because when Google can clearly see how your content connects to the question, it rewards your website by pulling it into more searches, higher visibility. This means that if Google knows that people can easily get the answer to their question, they know that this is a clean website. It signals to Google that this is the place that I want to send the people that are asking this particular question. So if we think about this structure, we have to do certain things, whether they're blog posts. We should make sure that we put our keywords in the title. We want to make sure that we put them in the meta descriptions. This is something that I use with a Yoast plugin, especially if you are using WordPress. You will know what I mean by plugins. Look into Yoast plugin. I just use the free version of it, and it helps me with my meta descriptions on Google. So you think about it from that place, because your title and this meta description are like the first impression in search. This is how you get the click. Now, I want to walk you through. I'm going to give you a couple of examples, because if you're not familiar with how we break down the H1, which is the headline and the keyword, the H2, which is the organization of the ideas, and then the H3, these are all areas where we're going to be putting our keywords in there. And this is where we're going to do this, because we do this for two reasons. We put it in these particular places because this is how Google finds our keywords. This is how Google sees the structure of the page. But we also do the headlines and the bullet points because human beings like to scan things. We easily go and scan something first. We'll look at the headlines to see, is this something I want to read? Yeah, I want to get all the way down here and figure out what she's talking about. So we do this for both reasons. So we do the H1, the H2, and the H3. Let me break this down for you, how this works. So I'm going to give you an example here. So if I had a company that I was working with who made handmade Amish furniture in Ohio, and they did custom dining tables. So my page title becomes custom dining tables, custom furniture in Ohio, the custom Amish made furniture. So it's not all flashy, it's not all provocative. You know what it is? It's keywords. It's for people who are looking for custom wood furniture in Ohio. That's what it is. And so it's answering that question. I'm looking for a furniture store in Ohio that does custom wood furniture. My page is going to show up. That's how this is going to work. And then on my H2 section, which is right underneath it. So maybe I put a little paragraph about, about my furniture and quality and all that stuff. And then I'm going to do an H2, which is like a subcategory. And then underneath that, I'm going to put handcrafted dining tables. This handcrafted dining tables subheading is also going to show up in Google. And it's also going to help humans when they're scanning. And so when we get down to the third section, these are like your little mini subjects. So we could do dining room collections, dining tables, custom chairs. Those are things that are searchable too. So we're going to use them in the headlines. And see, that's how we break up the structure. And of course, there's going to be copy, and there's probably going to be pictures, and there's going to be photo galleries and all that kind of stuff with this. But this is what I'm referring to with regards to putting your keywords into your page. Now for the meta description. The meta description is basically that piece that gets pulled up, that when your search gets pulled up, and you know how you've got like the title of the page and then there's some copy underneath it? This is the meta description. And generally what it's going to do is it's going to automatically pull the first paragraph that's in there. So you're going to be able to write that first paragraph based upon what you want shown up into Google. And as I shared with you before a few slides back, there is a program, if you use WordPress, there's a program called Yoast, and it's a wonderful plugin. And like I said, I use the free version of it. So I use the free version of Yoast, and I write the meta description that I want for Google to pull up. And that way I don't have to put it at the very beginning of my page. I can put it anywhere in the page that I want. I can even just write it the way that I want it to. But this is only for WordPress sites. So if you're using Squarespace or Wix, I'm not familiar if they have a program very similar to this, but this is just for WordPress sites. But anyway, so meta descriptions would say something like this. Learn the story behind old Amish furniture where tradition meets craftsmanship. Every piece is handmade in Ohio and crafted for your home's needs. So I've got Amish furniture in there. I've got handmade in there. I've got Ohio in there. I've got 3 keywords in that first paragraph, right? So that's what we're talking about. And it flows. It speaks in English. It's not a whole bunch of keywords stuffed together. It's a sentence and it makes sense. So I want you to make sure that when you are writing with your keywords in your meta descriptions, think about how you're going to not just tell Google what this page is about, handmade furniture in Ohio, whatever else, the dining room tables, that's telling Google what it's about. But the sentence about tradition and craftsmanship, and we're here in the Ohio area, that's the sentence that makes humans want to click, right? That's what we're talking about. And when you can get to that sweet spot, when you hit both, that's how you're writing a meta description for both Google and for humans. All right, so we keep going here. We've got this structure. So not only is that page optimization important in how we're breaking it down, we also want to do things like linking to other pages, especially if, let's say, let's use our example here of the furniture store. So we could say you get custom chairs, and then I could link to the page with the custom chair. I could link to the page where we could say, these are the custom woods that we offer. Take a look at these. I can link within my site, and Google loves this because what it does is it's a signal to Google letting them know that these pages belong together. And this is a full and complete structure that I am sending this person to. It's not just going to answer their original question. It's going to help them with more information because it's got links to this page, links to this page, links to this page. So do you see where it's coming from? It's thinking about how it's presenting this information to the person that's going to be receiving the click. So that's why it's so important that we do this work behind the scenes. And now we get to our third pillar. Our third pillar of SEO is based on something called consistency. So consistency is not just for you and your content creation. Consistency is also connected to your SEO long game. SEO is not just a one and done project. This is not something that I'm going to ask you to do one time, go through your website, and you're done, because Google rewards sites that say active and updated. So when you are consistently posting new content, it helps you rank for more keywords. Consistently posting more content could mean just writing a blog post every week. Consistently posting new content could be adding training like I'm doing today, adding a new training, adding something to your website. It's going to help you rank even higher because it's going to show Google that this site is active. This site is somebody you want to send to, because SEO, it's a relationship. It's a long-term relationship. It's not a one-time transaction like buying ads are. So when you're showing up and you're adding value and you're staying engaged, Google and your customers see this. So we want to think about it from that place because this is not just a one-time thing. I want you to think about how you can build SEO checks into your quarterly marketing plan. So when you do your quarterly checks and you're checking all your numbers, check your SEO, see what's going on with your pages. Use your content calendar to track updates, things that you were creating, things that you were doing. Did this happen to change when you switched over your opt-in or something like that? Track what's going on. It's going to help you see what's working, what's not working, and it's going to help you see patterns so that you know how you're going to continue reaching your customers. So when you get these patterns, you get this information, make sure that you're scheduling like SEO tune-up days to go back through and say, I've got some keywords that I want to add in, or these keywords are no longer relevant that I focused my entire homepage on. I need to, I need to freshen up everything because the real power of SEO comes from doing these small, consistent actions, and they compound over time, over and over and over again. It's the SEO long game. So we think about it from that place. Every blog post, every keyword tweak, every photo update, it's like another breadcrumb, and it's leading Google and your customers back to you. So if we think about it from that place, I want you to think about a way that you can incorporate SEO now into your marketing plan so you can start doing something consistently, start showing up. So I want to do one more breakdown before I wrap up here today, just to give you an idea, because I know, I know it just gets kind of confusing. What's she talking about all of this stuff? How does this work? How am I going to make this work for my business? Okay, so let's say that you've got handmade soy candles and you're in Asheville, North Carolina. This is how we would do this on one of your website pages. Okay, your main top title, the main one. Um, Eco-friendly small batch soy candles made locally in Asheville. Wow. That is a keyword sentence if I have ever heard one. Small batch, soy, locally, Asheville, eco-friendly. That's 5 keywords, phrases in there. So then your next one would be handcrafted candles, because handcrafted candles is also a really strong keyword. And then when you do your sub pages, or your subcategories that people are going to be scanning, different scents, the ingredients, mailing options, those are the kinds of things. So you see how we start general, then we go to a subcategory, and then we go, no, excuse, yeah, and then we go specific. So we always start general and then we go specific. That's how this works. So look at it like that. So think about this. And then here's the meta description. Our handmade soy candles are crafted in small batches in Asheville, North Carolina, and perfect for anyone searching for natural, eco-friendly home scents. Wow. Eco-friendly, small batch, handmade, Asheville. I would also say soy candles in there. I would also, you know, even Asheville, just Asheville, North Carolina, because you could say Asheville and you could say Asheville, North Carolina. Those are other ones that I would even add into that. So look at that. Think about it from that place. Think about how you can add these kinds of keywords into your pages, into your website pages, into your sales pages, into all of the stuff that you're using to help connect with Google. And don't forget that you have an SEO strategy workbook. It is connected to, it's right below this video that you're watching right now, and it's going to help you walk through with some prompts so that you can find your best keywords for your business. And it's going to help you draft some of this copy into prompts and how you can add these keywords into your website and to your marketing messages so that you can start putting copy in your own website that you can talk to Google and you can talk to the humans as well. So if you're ready to take action and you want to learn more, we are doing this all this month too in the Marketing Strategy Collective. This is where we take all of these concepts from the marketing training hub that you have here, all of these videos that you're watching, and I'm going to help you turn them into action. You get monthly strategy workbooks. You can join us in the group collaborative sessions. All these things are here for you to help you with your business and to learn more skills so that you can see real growth in your business. So the links are below. You know what to do to learn more. All righty, my friends. Thank you. Thank you so much for joining me today. this one was a big one. So you may need to watch again. You may need to do some screenshots. You may need to spend some time working this with your workbook. But anyway, thank you so much for joining me today. And I look forward to seeing what you're going to do with your business and that you can see some real growth. See you soon. Look forward to the next one. Goodbye.